did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC? No, wait a minute.
Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Super 6 is the jackpot game with the biggest cash payout, and it's very simple and easy to play. With increased chances of winning, just pick any 6 numbers from 1 to 28, or buy a quick pick and you can be a jackpot winner. Get 6 numbers and you can win the jackpot. Match 5 numbers plus the bonus ball and be a winner. You're still a winner if you match 5 numbers, 4 numbers, or even 3 numbers plus the bonus ball. Get a free ticket if you match the letter. Drawing twice per week. You never want to miss your chance at being a jackpot winner. So remember, a ticket a day can make you rich today.
Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. There was no signed agreement. Pastor Nigel London upbraids V-PAC. PAC must be more proactive in Parliament, says public agencies must not dodge scrutiny of accounts. MAHIPAUL and FERNANDES. Day 31 of the election fraud trial. Josh KANHAI admits he was arrested for breaking into GECOM chair's room amid elections tensions. PROPA local wines and tea receive Made in Guyana brand. And in sport, action resumes in Season 7 of the Guyana Football Federation's Elite League. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm ALETHEA Grant with the Friday 26th September 2025 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We'll tell you this evening that there was no signed agreement for the rotation of any parliamentary seats, says Prime Ministerial candidate for the Forward Guyana Movement, Nigel London. London says allegations made by Vigilant People's Action Committee V-PAC are unfounded. Here's that story.
In response to the scathing attack launched against Forward Guyana Movement leader Amanzo Walton Desir, Pastor Nigel London on the People's Movement on Thursday upbraided members of the V-PAC movement for what he calls intimidatory tactics and disrespect aimed at Walton Desir.
You will know that Forward Guyana Movement will function based on a manza, based on my position, and hopefully others that I know. It will be an environment where women are safe. We shouldn't have 67% of our state being female, and they have to read this kind of stuff. What are you telling them?
V-PAC is accusing Desir of dishonesty, betrayal, and manipulation in handling of the coalition's sole parliamentary seat.
There was no signed agreement to rotate anything because Parliament doesn't know how to rotate.
The leader of the People's Movement believes the V-PAC misinterpreted the movement's internal conversations.
So what may have been spoken about is a shared or a sharing of time spent in the House Assembly. So before this agreement was signed, there would have been discussions being had. Listen, we could possibly go 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. That's a discussion. That's not a contract.
According to London, the accusation by V-PAC that Walton Desir anointed herself sole power broker, keeping 60% of the seat for herself and handing 40% to him, Nigel London, is unfounded.
Because unless there's some deliberate effort to cause the public to think that Forward Guyana Movement is in chaos and there's a problem and a man who wants to hog all the seats and a man who's doing this. Unless that's the plan, I can understand. But if that were not the plan, then why is there this behavior?
Ms. Walton Desir did not immediately take calls for a comment on the issue. Marvin Keto reporting for HGP Nightly News.
In the last parliament, several public service agencies have not been scrutinized by the Public Accounts Committee, and a former member, Ganesh MAHIPAUL, believes the parliamentary body during the 13th session must be proactive. Antonia Day has more.
According to Ganesh MAHIPAUL, a former member of the Public Accounts Committee, many constitutional bodies have not appeared before the National Assembly for financial oversight. He told journalists that this does not augur well for the efficiency of the P.A.C. and is hopeful that it will be a different modus operandi at the 13th session of the National Assembly.
We would like to see greater scrutiny at the level of the Public Accounts Committee for the Parliament building expenditure, for the court, the judiciary, their expenditure, the audit office, their expenditure, and all other teaching service commission.
Mr. MAHIPAUL also flagged that the previous Public Accounts Committee faced challenges due to standing orders amendment that changed the quorum, leading to frequent cancellations. MAHIPAUL, an APNU member, expressed strong dissatisfaction with the committee's performance, which was chaired by German Figuera, an opposition MP who has since aligned himself with the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic. He emphasized that the previous P.A.C. did not review any government accounts beyond 2019, effectively ignoring critical expenditures from 2020 through 2024.
No expenditure of the last government was done by the Public Accounts Committee, so I'm not comfortable with the work that was done by the last P.A.C.
Despite the ruling PPPC securing a large majority in the new parliament, MAHIPAUL remains hopeful that the upcoming P.A.C. will not be bogged down by the same quorum issues that plagued its predecessor.
I would like to see from the next P.A.C. more regular meetings. I would like to see, for reference, the Auditor General's report. I would like to see a greater in-depth audit on the accounts.
Mr. MAHIPAUL advocated for a more rigorous and thorough examination of government spending practices by the Office of the Auditor General.
The Auditor General only audits about 10% of an agency's expenditure.
MAHIPAUL noted that during the last parliament, opposition leader Aubrey Norton and his team requested the Auditor General to audit major projects, including the $15.8 billion government complex in close proximity to Hag's-Bosch landfill site. He revealed that over $8 billion has already been spent without any discernible value to show for that money. The APNU member also highlighted the urgent need for scrutiny of the Bellevue pump station. Former P.A.C. member Director Finance passionately stressed the necessity for making the Auditor General's reports public immediately before its submission to National Assembly. She also advocated for reforms that would ensure these vital documents are accessible to the public and the media for thorough scrutiny. Antonia Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Day 31 of the election fraud trial saw key admissions from Dr. Daniel Josh KANHAI, who now is the Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Local Government. KANHAI told the court that he forced his way into the room being occupied by GECOM's chair, Claudette Singh, on March 5, 2020, even though a recount request had already been delivered and acknowledged. Tiana Cole has been following that story.
Day 31 of the election fraud trial resumed on Friday before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty in the Georgetown Magistrates Court. The session placed Dr. Daniel Josh KANHAI, then General Secretary of the New Movement political party and now Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Local Government Ministry, in the witness box. KANHAI was questioned about Order Number 60 of 2020, which was issued for the national recount of all ballots cast in the general and regional elections. Under cross-examination by Attorney Nigel Hughes, he agreed that Order 60 did not give then Chief Election Officer Keith Lowenfield the authority to make a declaration. That power, he admitted, rested solely with the Ghana Elections Commission, GECOM. KANHAI further confirmed that Lowenfield made no declaration under the order. The court then heard details of his presence at the Ashman's building on March 5, 2020. KANHAI admitted that he was among those who forced their way into the room where the GECOM's chair was located. He explained that his intention was to deliver the letter requesting a recount of votes. However, he conceded that a letter had already been formally delivered to GECOM and the Commission had acknowledged receipt before he tried to enter. When Preston Weiss then attempted to enter the room, KANHAI said he had lost the confidence in the process and had doubts as whether the delivery of the request would have been sufficient. He admitted that in doing so, he was arrested for causing public disruption and obstructing the course of justice. KANHAI also admitted that he was leaning and quote-unquote bracing against the chair's door at one point, claiming he was quote-unquote taking a rest on it. He told the court that he did not hear any official declaration being made on March 5. The matter was adjourned to October 21, 2025. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
We have more news after this break. Stay with us.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality.
Did you tell him that Danny went to pick up kids? No, wait a minute.
Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Commissioner Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC, Manripo, East Coast, and Marara, or call 220-9624, 629-4021, or 619-7880. At Krishna Rolf Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Welcome back. You with the HGP Nightly News. Officials from the Ministry of Public Works witnessed the second phase of load testing on the new Demerara Harbour Bridge, signaling the drive towards its completion and commissioning. Marvin Cato reports.
On Thursday, Minister of Public Works NIGEL led a team from his ministry to observe engineers who meticulously carried out a major load testing exercise on the new Demerara River Cable Stayed Bridge. During this process, a number of trucks laden with sand and weigh 20 tons were parked on the high-span areas to test the strength and readiness of the cables installed to hold the high-span bridge in place. During the operation, advanced sensors recorded stress, strain, deflection, stiffness, and tower displacement, along with the load forces on the supporting cables. The loaded trucks were carefully positioned on the structure to simulate heavy traffic conditions, while experts monitored the bridge's performance under stress. These measurements are critical to confirming the bridge's strength, durability, and safety before its commissioning. In addition to the load testing, works are underway to mount 2 lighted cassette crowns on the 2 towers above the bridge. When mounted, this will enhance the aesthetics of the bridge and illuminate Guyana's skyline. As the bridge moves closer to its official opening, this distinctive feature will symbolize national pride, with the crown representing the second highest national award in the Order of Service of Guyana. The successful completion of this testing signified another step in the right direction and an important milestone in the project. The new Damara River Bridge, after completion, is expected to provide safe and reliable service for decades to come. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Relatives of 24-year-old Cuban national DeRovis Mendonza, who lost his life while working on a construction site, has encountered a major obstacle in transporting his remains back to his homeland. Antonia Day is on that story.
Ray Mendonza, the older brother of 24-year-old Cuban national DeRovis Mendonza, who was pinned under the rubble of a collapsed fence under construction along the east coast of Demerara, is seeking assistance in returning the remains of his brother to Cuba. The older Mendonza told Nightly News on Thursday that relatives in Guyana are in no financial position to do so, and no support is forthcoming from his brother's employer, the Chinese business, executing works on the Bachelor's Adventure site.
We are seeking the help of the government and the people or anybody that has influence and power to help us achieve, I'm sorry, we need to take my brother back.
The emotional brother said relatives met with Roy Cole, an official from the Ministry of Labor, regarding the circumstances surrounding Mendonza's death.
And we believe that his family back home, mom, dad, siblings, kids, should have proper compensation.
The older Mendonza, however, told this newscast that his brother's former employer does not want to be liable for these expenses, but was advised by the company's attorney to seek legal recourse. Family members say immigrants are coming here seeking job opportunities, and it is important that there be standardized methods which promote occupational health and safety. Ray lamented that too many expatriates lose their lives to poor working conditions or facilities which pose threats.
There is plenty of them dying out there and nobody's finding out. Nothing is getting done when it comes to the regulations for those construction sites.
Meanwhile, Minister of Labor, Manpower and Planning, Hugh McGriffith, when contacted by Nightly News for an update, said he's yet to engage officials from his ministry on the way forward.
I have certainly not given any undertakings to any relatives. In fact, I have not met with any, the brother or so, or any other relative apart from one gentle lady who I spoke to at the scene on Tuesday, I believe.
He also clarified that as of now, the family and his ministry have not brokered any agreements. Mendonza was a resident of Falls, also located on the east coast of Demerara. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
2 government agencies have joined forces to urgently address utility issues affecting schools across the country. From damaged water systems in hinterland regions to widespread electrical challenges, the government has announced the establishment of a rapid response task force. Jeda June reports.
Minister of Education Sonia Parag and Minister of Public Utilities and Aviation Deodat Indar convened a high-level meeting to urgently address issues affecting schools across the country. The creation of a rapid response task force has been established to bring about swift solutions. The session brought together senior officials including Permanent Secretary Chanel Hussein Altar, Chief Planning Officer Mishka White-Griffith, Deputy Chief Education Officer Tiffany Harvey and Marty D'Souza, Building Unit Head Jerome Parker, and technical representatives from the Guyana Water Incorporated. At the top of the agenda was the systematic destruction of water distribution networks in hinterland regions, an issue currently under investigation. The task force will immediately focus on repairing damaged infrastructure, bolstering security at key water wells, and constructing new reservoirs to secure long-term water access for over 250 communities and satellite villages, particularly during dry seasons. Subject Minister Sonia Parag spoke to this development.
In the next 5 years, the education sector is going to be the most important sector towards national development.
Minister of Public Utilities and Aviation, Deodat Indar, who also attended the meeting, assured Minister Parag that all utility issues within his portfolio would be resolved within 6 weeks. Minister Parag emphasized her ministry's commitment to working with other government agencies to ensure challenges impacting students and teachers are immediately addressed. The Rapid Response Task Force is expected to begin work in the coming weeks, delivering both short-term fixes and sustainable solutions to safeguard learning environments across Guyana. Jada June reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned, we have more news for you.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Granny, what are you doing on the right of way? Like you're saying let the sunshine stretch your legs. Sunshine? Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny. But I ain't digging, building, burning, or planting. No horsing wrong, no horse riding, or nothing for doing horses. But Sunshine? But you and Sunshine get out the right of way. Sunshine, I'll be glad. Good.
Life is full of beautiful moments, but did you know that everyday activities can expose you and your loved ones to harmful worms? From playing in the dirt to cuddling with pets, even eating unwashed fruits and vegetables. These common activities can cause worm infestation. Intestinal worm infections can cause nausea, fatigue, bloating, or even stomach pains. Dr. Setival has the remedy for you. Use worm medicine to prevent infections and to rid your family of these pests. Check your nearest pharmacy for Levan with pack sizes suitable for families large and small. Just a single dose after a meal treats common worms. Protect your family with Levan so you can focus on what truly matters. Making memories. Distributed by Massey Distribution, Guyana Limited.
Did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
As Indigenous Heritage celebrations culminate on Tuesday, Nightly News will feature one of Guyana's exemplary figures, Shirley Melville Overman, former Consul General to Brazil. Antonio, they recently sat down with Mrs. Melville Overman and filed this report.
Shirley Melville Overman is an Indigenous woman known for her numerous titles. Melville Overman has worked in banking and finance, communication, social work, politics, diplomacy, and Indigenous activism, and is still active and committed to national development, particularly in hinterland communities. In an exclusive interview with Nightly News, the former Consul General to Brazil highlighted her efforts during the David Granger administration to advocate for Indigenous rights and enhance Ghana-Brazil relations in tourism, agriculture, and health.
So I was so happy with being able to serve my country because I've actually laid the foundation in sensitizing the Ghanese citizens that there was a consulate in Boa Vista.
Melville Overman, a longtime member of the People's National Congress Reform, said analyzing the challenges affecting particularly Indigenous peoples is a typical example of the government's disinterest in holistic and people-centered development. Alleging the dictatorial style of governance under the People's Progressive Party Civic, the former Consul General noted that due to her numerous community outreaches, many residents are afraid to highlight the hardships they continue to face amid fears of victimization.
It upsets me to see the way our people are still treated. It's in a very patronizing and intimidating approach. Our people are not allowed to speak up freely.
Citing the leadership at the level of the National Two-Shows Council, the Indigenous activist is lobbying for more female representation, particularly in the hinterland communities. Melville added that priority must be given to budgetary allocations for villages with subpar infrastructure.
You have to be able to assess the needs in a village. You cannot sit in an AC office in Georgetown and decide, oh, this village needs this or this. It's not a band-aid effect of just putting a plaster over it.
The PNCR stalwart says that in order to seek significant improvements in hinterland communities, the government must strike a balance between social, human, and infrastructural development.
We definitely have to look at supporting fully sustainable projects. If you really want to see an improvement up the ladder for our Indigenous people.
The former Bishop's High alumna is also lobbying for equitable education across hinterland communities. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Parents of children with special education needs in Region 5 have received academic support packages from the Ministry of Education. Jada June has that story.
Parents of children enrolled in special education needs and disabilities centers across Guyana are now receiving academic support packages specifically designed to help them better assist their children at home. On Thursday, Minister of Education Sonia Parag spearheaded the distribution exercise at the SEND Center located within the Blairmont Primary School, Region 5, Mahaipaul. The minister explained that the packages are carefully tailored to the development needs of each child. She noted that while they serve as vital tools for teachers, they also empower parents to play a stronger role in their children's journey towards learning. This initiative adds to the government's broader framework to support for persons with disabilities, which already includes monthly public assistance, PWD cash grants, enhanced rehabilitation services, and employment programs spearheaded by the Office of the First Lady. Assistant Chief Education Officer for SEN, Dr. Keon Chung, in providing details on the packages, which cater to learners aged 3 to 12, highlighted that SEN caters for intellectual disabilities such as cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, Fragile X syndrome, and fetal alcohol syndrome, as well as autism syndrome, disorders, and visual or hearing impairment. Dr. Chiang noted that the content vary depending on the child's need. For example, learners on the autism spectrum will receive visual schedules to assist with communication and transitions, while blind or visual impaired students will be given recorders to capture and replay lessons at home. Each package also comes with an orientation to guide parents on its proper use. Paraguay assured parents of the government's heightened commitment to inclusivity, announcing that the Ministry of Education intends to expand SEND centers nationwide, boost access to physiotherapists and speech therapy resources, and broaden services to meet the needs of learners across the country. Before Thursday's distribution, the minister held an open discussion with the parents of 14 special needs pupils, listening to their concerns and pledging swift action to resolve the challenges raised. Jada June reported for HGP Nightly News.
Abigail John, the owner of PROPA Local Wines, is now diversified and is producing PROPA Local Tea. As a result of hard work and commitment and with assistance from the Bureau of Standards, John was able to recertify her local brand. Marvin Cato reports.
My creativity and drive did not happen overnight. They are the fruit of a rich family legacy. I come from a line of proud farmers who worked the soil, educators who molded minds, and business owners who paved the way.
That was Abigail John, who did it again, this time recertifying our PROPA Local Wines and PROPA Local Teas brand. President of the Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana, THAG, Mitra Ramkumar, said John is breaking the mold as she is rapidly developing and expanding our brand on the local market.
Congratulations to Abigail. Just like everyone else, I'm proud on your behalf to say that this is local and it comes from Buxton.
John, an entrepreneur, has enjoyed tremendous support from the local market, and with the Made in Guyana certification, she's expecting to leave a bigger footprint in the future.
Tourism is when people travel, they want what is local. They want to taste what we produce. They want to taste our hands.
Ramkumar encouraged John to keep pushing since the sky is the limit.
From the Tourism and Hospitality Association, and to encourage our members and even non-members to do, is to ensure that in the lobbies of the hotels we have something like this, where you would have the local wines, the local tea.
The 6-month-old tea brand has taken on a life of its own, and according to Executive Director of Guyana National Bureau of Standards, Trevor Basu, it has already outpaced all other products in the PROPA Local brand collection.
This business was first certified August last year after satisfying the requirements of the Made in Guyana program. And today, we are again proud that this certification will be extended.
Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Live the island dream. It's your chance to be one of over 100 winners in the Island Dream promotion. Win your share of more than $1 million in cash and prizes, plus 2 all-inclusive weekend staycations for 2. And that's not all. Score coolers packed with Buster, Turbo, Altitude, and Viva. Just buy any can or bottle of Turbo, Buster, Altitude, or Viva. Find the code starting with BB, then visit at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean on IG or Facebook for details. Live the island dream, get money. Live the island dream.
After a devastating fire destroyed physics equipment at the University of Guyana in 2014, we had to stick to theory-based lecture. That's when ExxonMobil Guyana stepped in to help. Today, students can turn STEM theory into practice in ways they couldn't before. Reaching for the stars is now more possible than ever. I am Samuel, and this is what's possible.
Learn more about Mr. Lee's story and how ExxonMobil's investments in education are benefiting students across Guyana at www.exxonmobil.com/what-is-possible.
These nice prototypes go with proper things. Peppies, you get the best and these things. Oh, no, bless up.
Okay. Pack up these things. Yellow, you put the things in the car.
Loving you is easy cause you're beautiful. Do-da-do-da-do. I love you, and you, and you, and you, and you. I love all of you.
Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
And you. I love Peppy. Granny, what are you doing on the right of way? Like your Alethea sunshine, stretch your legs.
Sunshine?
Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right away, Granny.
But I ain't digging, building, burning, or planting.
No horsing wrong, no horse riding, or nothing for doing horses.
But sunshine?
But you and Sunshine get out the right away.
Sunshine, I'll be glad.
Good.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute.
Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Good evening and welcome to Friday's edition of the Regional News. I am Antonio Day. We begin with news in the Caribbean region. United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio says that the United States government plans to deport a Haitian national for allegedly engaging in a campaign of violence and gang support. Said that the unidentified Haitian national has jeopardized U.S. foreign policy objectives regarding Haiti and the safety of the United States. I am pleased to announce the latest U.S. actions against an individual whose presence and activities in our country has potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the United States, Rubio said. The Department of State has determined that a Haitian national who engaged in a campaign of violence and gang support should no longer remain in the United States. Based on my determination as Secretary of State, the Department of Homeland Security will initiate removal charges against this individual, said Rubio, stating that under the Immigration and Naturalization Act, an alien is deportable from our country if the Secretary of State has reasonable grounds to believe that the alien's presence or activities in the United States would have potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the United States. This week, U.S. Department of State Principal Deputy Spokesperson Thomas Tommy Pigott said that Washington was publicly designating Arnold Belizaire, a former member of the Haitian Chamber of Deputies, and Antonio Chermy, and former Haitian senator, for their involvement in the significant corruption during their time in the public office. Attention to news in Jamaica. Kemar Riley, one of the 4 men convicted in December 2019 for the 2011 murder and beheading of 18-year-old Joette Lynch and her mother, 40-year-old Charmaine Rastray, in Lauriston, St. Catherine, has filed an appeal against his conviction and life sentence. He, who was denied any involvement in the killings, had been found guilty by a jury of 7 and was sentenced by the then Supreme Court Judge Justice Vivian Harris to life imprisonment and hard labor, and ordered to serve a minimum 52 years before being eligible for parole. And hard. Finally, with some international news. U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday unveiled sweeping new import tariffs, including 100% duties on branded drugs and 25% levies on heavy-duty trucks, triggering fresh trade uncertainty after a period of comparative calm. The salvo, which Trump said was to protect the U.S. manufacturing industry and national security, follows wide-ranging duties on trading partners of up to 50% and other targeted levies on imported products such as steel. It is the latest upheaval for global businesses already struggling with snarled supply chains, soaring costs, and consumer uncertainty caused by Trump's trade war, which has cast a pall over global growth, while the Federal Reserve has said it is also contributing to higher U.S. consumer prices. Watching. I am Antonio Day. Goodbye for now and do have a great weekend.
Let's now join Delwyn Neblet for HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwyn Neblett with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Friday, September 26, 2025. Action resumes today in the 2025 Heritage Games at the Everest Sports Club ground in Georgetown. The games, which officially open on Wednesday, are held annually in September as part of the Amerindian Heritage Month celebrations in Guyana. This year features approximately 800 athletes from all 10 administrative regions in Guyana participating in multiple disciplines, including football, cricket, archery, volleyball, swimming, and athletics. In men's football, MAHIPAUL beat St. Cuthbert's Mission in a fixture dubbed El Clasico 3-0. Region 6 also defeated Region 10 2-1, and Region 7 Skycan defeated Region 8 4-1. Female football results so far include a 6-1 victory for Region 10 over Region 9, as well as a 5-0 victory for Region 7 over Region 4. The early action in the ladies' tournament was highlighted by a 10-0 victory for Region 1 over newcomers Akawini of Region 2 on the back of early doubles from both Chata and ALETHEA Henry. The next big clash in the tournament will be between Mabaruma of Region 1 versus Community Warriors of Region 3. The finals of all events in the Heritage Games will be concluded by Sunday, September 28, 2025. In other football news, action continues in the Guyana Football Federation's Elite League Season 7 with 2 fixtures at the National Training Center in Providence on Saturday, as well as 2 fixtures on Monday. Match 1 on Saturday begins at 18 hours 30 or 6:30 p.m. and features Anse Grove United versus the Western Tigers, while the second match features the Fruta Conquerors versus the Guyana Defence Force. On Monday, the first match commencing at 18 hours 30 or 6:30 p.m. will feature the Guyana Police Force FC versus the Mainstay Gold Stars, and then at 21 hours or 9 p.m. Netherlands will take on Santos FC in the second fixture. Action is also scheduled to resume in the Georgetown Football Association Senior Men's Football League 2025 with 2 fixtures at the Police Sports Club ground Ivlery on feature Oris FC versus the Motherland FC. Now we conclude with cricket. The Flair Under-21 T20 tournament returns to center stage this weekend at the Maltino Sports Club in Georgetown. The tournament, designed to provide a platform for young cricketers to showcase their skills, gain exposure, and transition into higher levels of competition, is slated for September 27th and 28th, and will see 4 youth teams, namely the Forest Fusion coached by Raul Merrill, Emerald Warriors coached by Martin Pestano-Bell, the Blazing Brigade coached by Renoli Bourne, and the Bartica East Bank Warriors coached by Terry Newton, battling for top honors and cash prizes of $150,000 for the champions and $65,000 for the runners-up. On Saturday, the Blazing Brigade will clash with Forest Fusion at 9 hours, followed by the Emerald Warriors versus the Bartica East Bank Warriors at 13 hours. The final is scheduled for Sunday, September 28 at 13 hours. Among notable young players expected to feature are Jonathan Van Lang, Isaiah Thorne, Sanjay Algu, Romario Ramdi Hall, Zainul Ramsamy, Ramprasad Ramnath, Thaddeus Lovell, Shamar Apple, Jonathan Ramprasad, Yudhisthir Prasad, Gobind Prasad, and Justin Sutton. Also in cricket, the historic T20 International Series between the West Indies and Nepal begins tomorrow, September 27, 2025, at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium in the UAE. This marks the first ever bilateral T20 series between the two nations, offering Nepal a landmark opportunity to test themselves against the full member side, while the West Indies look to build depth and prepare new talent for future tournaments. The West Indies, led by Akil Hussain and coached by Guyanese Ryan Griffith, have included several fresh faces alongside experienced names like Jason Holder and Kyle Mears, while Nepal captain Rohit Paudel will rely on key players such as Dipendra Singh Iyer, Sandeep Lamishain, and Kushal Bertel. With fixtures set for September 27th, 29th, and 30th, the series promises to be a competitive and symbolic step forward for Nepalese cricket on the international stage, as well as a challenge for the emerging West Indies talent. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwyn Neblett, reminding you to stay in the game.
There was no signed agreement past the Nigel London UPBRAIDS V-PAC. PACT must be more proactive in Parliament, says public agencies must not dodge scrutiny of accounts. MAHIPAUL, FERNANDES. Day 31 of the election fraud trial, Josh KANHAI admits he was arrested for breaking into GECOM chair's room amid elections tensions. PROPA local wines and tea receive Made in Guyana brand. And in sport, action resumes in Season 7 of the Guyana Football Federation's Elite League. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm ALETHEA Grant. Thanks for watching.